What is up, YouTube? Here we are 1 week after my 15,000 calorie challenge attempt, and no, I am not dead. No, I am not 10 pounds heavier, and I feel great, surprisingly. About a week ago, I'm pretty sure I was dying in the Costco parking lot. Could barely move, could barely breathe, but today I'm eating a lot better and I feel a lot healthier. Thank God. I want to make this video super quick. I want to talk a little bit about what I did for the past week, how much fat I gained after the 15,000 calorie challenge, how much fat you can gain from those type of food challenges, and just basically any little questions that I feel like I've gotten so far since the challenge was uploaded this morning. I also included my physique update so you guys can kind of see where I'm at right now, exactly 1 week after the challenge. So as you guys saw my weight, I'm actually 1 pound lighter than I was when I did the food challenge. How did this happen? To be honest, I'm asking myself the same thing. Before the food challenge, I did go in a bit of a deficit, so it wasn't a huge deficit at all. I think in total that week I was on, 1 second here. Before I go ahead, I just want to apologize for my hair because like, what is happening here? Okay, nope. I do have a nutrition log where I put in all my macronutrients for every single day, and it totals up my calories as well, so I'm able to see how many calories I consumed per week. So I'm gonna go based off of that and kind of let you guys know how much of a deficit I was in compared to what I normally eat. So my daily macros are 130 grams of protein, 225 carb, and 60 grams of fat. To do something about the hair because it was driving me nuts. When in doubt, the headbands got your back. But anyways, as I was saying, so I normally consume around 1,960 calories, and then about 3 days before the challenge I started dropping down my calories. So I went and did 1,500 the one day, then I did 1,200 the one day, and then the day before I had about 1,400 calories. So all in all, it was in a huge deficit. If anything, I took about 1,000 calories out from my total weekly intake, which is what matters the most at the end of the day. A lot of people think that it all happens within a day, and any kind of muscle gain or fat gain or any kind of progress that you make with your physique, it all happens in a long-term period. So it's just like gaining fat. Like, you're not gonna gain fat from just one meal. It all happens with a prolonged period of time of overeating. So if I would have kept eating the way that I did the day of the 15,000 calorie challenge, then yeah, I would have probably put on some fat. But since I went right into a deficit, the day after I woke up, and I'm not gonna lie, I may or may not have had some leftover donuts and a little bit of the muffin, because that's exactly what I was craving. Like, I woke up craving all kinds of junk food, and you would have never thought that, because at the end of the video I literally didn't even want to see like one burger or a donut or anything like that. But when I woke up, that's instantly what my body craved. So I gave in to my cravings, and then within like 5 or 6 bites, I kind of came to my senses and realized that if I kept giving into my cravings, then they weren't gonna get better, because the more that you feed your body sugar, the more that it will want it. So I just stopped, make sure that I started getting plenty of water in, because I knew that that was gonna be the first thing that I really had to do to get back on track and just get my body back into a normal state. Back to the calorie deficit. So in a normal week, I get around 13,776 calories. The week of the challenge, I got in 20,065 calories. So I was about 6,000 calories over, and we always say to gain 1 pound, we need to eat on a surplus of 3,500 calories. So theoretically speaking, I should have gained 2 pounds, but how much fat you gain and how much real weight you actually put on all depends on what you do after the challenge. So in the coming videos, you guys will see that I actually did a juice cleanse after the challenge, and you'll see the whole entire experience with that. So I'm not going to go too into detail with that. I just wanted to get this video out first so you guys kind of knew what happened after the challenge. But I did a juice cleanse, which actually put me in a huge deficit, and my intention with the juice cleanse wasn't really to go into a huge deficit. When I read on the website, they actually said that the cleanses ranged anywhere from 1,200 calories to 1,800 calories. So I definitely didn't think that I was going to be in that big of a deficit. But when I did get the juices and I logged everything in, I realized that I was only getting like 1,100 calories in per day. So that was a little unexpected, but I figured, you know, I'm still in a huge surplus from the challenge, so it's not going to be like a huge deal. I don't know if you guys know this, but our body can only absorb so much food. So my body was most likely still working through the calories that I ingested the day of the challenge. So I'm sure a lot of the calories that I had during the challenge were used as energy for those days that I was on the juice cleanse. my weight throughout the entire week went from like 129 pounds being the highest after the challenge to like 127 the next day. And then I started the juice cleanse 2 days after. So when I started the juice cleanse, I think I went from like 125, then 124, 123, and then the lightest that I weighed in was 5 days after the challenge. I weighed in at 122 pounds. So within 5 days, I was already down to 6 pounds that I gained from the challenge, and even lighter than before the challenge. So my total calories for this week so far, obviously not including today, are 8,160 calories. And if I normally consume 13,000 calories. So not accounting for today's calories, I've eaten minus 5,616 calories that I normally would. And last week I ate in a surplus of 6,223 calories. So even though I'm still in a surplus this week, especially after I account for today's calories, I'm still not in that big of a surplus, which explains why I didn't gain any fat really. And another thing to remember as well is that for most people, when our calories increase, so does our non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which basically just means what you do outside of the gym. So whether it be moving around the house, cleaning, just staying active throughout the day basically. The day after the challenge, I definitely did not want to stand still. I actually like woke up and just worked on my feet because I just felt like I had so much energy and like I wanted to do something. I didn't go and train that day actually. I didn't even walk on the treadmill or anything. And another thing to remember as well is that the more calories that we ingest, the harder that our body needs to work to break down those calories. So that day that I was consuming that many calories, my body was probably working harder in order to break down those calories. And not only that day, but the days following, because I still had calories to break down after the challenge. This past week, I definitely didn't really change too much in the gym. I trained how I normally do. I only trained 4 times a week, and I think I did about 3 cardio sessions in between 15 to 25 minutes, and then I did my regular walking on the treadmill when I'm answering emails or writing an Instagram caption or just whatever I'm doing on my phone. So nothing really changed too much there. The main factor for my results after the challenge were definitely my nutrition and the approach that I took with my calorie intake. I definitely wouldn't recommend going that hard with a deficit unless you can really handle it. You can decrease your calories every single day, even if it is by 200 to 300 calories, and then you increase your cardio a little bit as well. Then over time you can definitely create that negative energy balance. But for the most part, honestly, most people don't experience much fat gain because you just go back to your regular eating habits, and over time it all just regulates and balances out. So I definitely don't think it's something big to stress about. And challenges like those are definitely not something that you want to be doing too often, just because they're definitely very hard on your body, and you can just feel it the day of. Like, I felt my heart just like racing the entire day, and I was breathing so heavily, and then like the following days my stomach was a little bit sore. It's definitely hard on your body. Obviously it's common sense. So even though the aftermath wasn't too bad and I didn't gain a crazy amount of weight, I definitely don't think it's something that I will be doing too often. But I'm definitely gonna be doing a rematch, and we will most definitely finish it next time. Apparently I didn't learn my lesson, but that's okay. It'll be a new day, it'll be a new challenge, so I will be back. This is not the end of me. I'm definitely very, very determined to actually make it, because I just know that I have it in me to do it, you know? So as of right now, I'm just going back to my regular macros, going back to 130 protein, 225 carb, and 60 grams of fat. And over the next couple of weeks, you guys can expect to see some information on the juice cleansing and kind of see my progression over this past week after the challenge. So that is about all for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this little chat, this little sit down. I hope I made some sense. If you guys have any questions for me, please make sure to leave them down below. If you enjoyed this video, if you found this helpful, please make sure you give the video a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you enjoy my content, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. The 15,000 calorie challenge will be linked down below, so if you haven't watched it yet, then make sure you go do that. And that'll be about it for now. I will catch you guys in the next one.